Happy birthday. Happy TTII. Thank goodness it's Friday. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Let's get out.
You know what? I think it's plugged into the wrong spot. 1 second. Okay. I think it's still distorted, isn't it? Oh boy. For a second. it going? Oh boy, I think we got audio. Do we have audio? Can anyone confirm? Can anyone confirm the audio right now? I think, okay, when this catches up, you guys let me know. I think we got audio. I think the audio is good now. I'm almost certain. I had to put a whole different, I got to use a shotgun mic, which I'm sure doesn't sound as good as my other one. We good now? Okay. All right. Wow. I don't know what happened there. This mic was working flawlessly. Then all of a sudden, like, I've used it all morning. This is classic rants about tech for sure. But I used this morning. There's 3 cats here. I'm certain one of them, his name's Peanut. He's an orange cat. And if you know about orange cats, you know how orange cats get down. They are the worst. I'm sure that cat gets in here and does things like on purpose to spite me. He's like, oh, he's got a live in the morning. Time to get busy. Like, what is going on here? Anyway, I hope we're good. I hope we're good here today. It's warm, so I'm going to take my jacket off. I'm never this warm in here, but it is warm in here today. Probably because all the problems I had. When you start having problems, things get hot. Things get hot quickly. All right, now, let's get back to the intro. Let's get the music going again. I look, bam. Okay, let's try this again. Welcome to another episode of Rants About Tech. I'm Roderick, your host, here in Philadelphia. Gloomy, rainy, cold Philadelphia. But we're here. And good morning to everybody that joined me. Thank you for hanging out, because I had problems just now. So if you're still here throughout the problems, I appreciate you. I appreciate you for your patience. Thank you. Yeah, so mic problems today. So I'm glad I keep extra microphones around. This one is a shotgun mic. This is the mic I use for my videos. The produced videos. This is my live mic, and I'm throwing it in the trash. Don't even want that thing anymore. Like, why go out now? Anyway, thank you all for being here. Thank you for joining me. I got shavings of metal on my desk now from trying to configure. This mic is sitting here because I rammed it and jammed it into a spot. I don't even have anything holding this right now. I have nothing holding it, so it's just hanging out. So if it falls, we'll pick it up. We'll be like, get off the floor. Why are you on the floor? So yeah, thank you for being here today. Let me get to a decent spot in notes here, because I don't even know what's going on with notes. Bam. Okay, we good. All right, we're good. We're back to the show. So again, like I said, thank you for joining us. Cloudy, rainy, Philadelphia, but I'm glad you're here with me. City of brotherly love. Show me some love today. I need it. Clearly, I'm having issues. Having issues like crazy. Let's go to the chat real quick. Let's go to the top of the chat. We got a lot of people. Okay, so here we go. Audio is bad. We got it. I hope the audio is fixed now. Is it too loud? It's probably not loud enough. So let me just bump it up a little bit. I think we're good now. Let me raise it up a little bit too. It's right in my face. Like, the other one wasn't this facially confrontational, but it's more pointy. I don't like that. I don't like it one bit. But let's go to the chat. Christmas interlude 2. You got listen. I may just keep the Christmas interlude there just so you would know things have gone wrong. If you hear Christmas music, you know things have not gone correctly. There's work to be done. We're probably doing it. All says classic rat intro. Thanks, all. I appreciate you. You know what? Let's go ahead and get the shout outs to the members, because I'm sure they're the only ones here still. So I appreciate you guys. Let's go ahead and get the air horns going for the members in the chat real quick. We got all. What's going on, all? Good morning. Thanks for being here. We got Dr. Ling. Dr. Ling's in the building. BM, appreciate you. BM, I responded to a message BM sent me 2 days ago. I saw the message again today when I went in Discord. I'm like, okay, I answered this question. Why? But DM, I think I might have sent a DM though, accidentally BM. So if I did, my bad. So yeah, we got who else? We got Aaron, aka Mr. Media, in the building. Let's go ahead and get the air horns going. We got Greg, aka Aaron, or Greg, aka Gregory, in the building as well. Jay, how's it going, Jay? Good to see you. The Rock. Appreciate you being here, The Rock. Appreciate you. So yeah, like I said, if you hear that Christmas music, things have gone wrong. Things have gone terribly, terribly wrong. But yeah. All right. So, what do we got here? Happy National Fun at Work Day. If you're at work, and I mean, this is a work day. It's TGI Friday, but you know, we're still working today. If you're at work today, happy work day. Have a fun work day. I mean, you can have fun at work. If you're listening to me right now, you're about to have some fun at work. So we're good to go. National Hot Chocolate Day. It's National Hot Chocolate Day. I mean, it's cold enough for the hot chocolate, so this is a good day to have it. I'm not big on hot chocolate myself, to be honest with you. I'll take it with some stuff on the white stuff. I don't even call that stuff. It's a spray you put on the hot chocolate. It's the thing. What do we got? And National Independence Day for Nauru. In 1968, Nauru gained its independence from a number of countries, including Austria. So Australia, I gotta remember there's the difference between Austria and Australia. Two different places. Sounds the same, looks the same. Two different places. Let's go back to the chat real quick before we continue with the rest of this. Greg says classic rat. Yeah, I'm having issues this morning. I'm just messing with you. Good morning. I could never put this together. Clearly, I could never put this together either, Greg. 99 problems, but a mic ain't one. Yeah, I have 99 problems, including the mic. I got 100 now. I got 100. Jay, more like dead mic, in my opinion. Yeah, I think it is dead. The light that used to be green on the back of that microphone is now red. That's clearly signaling something is wrong somewhere. I don't know what, though. I did plug it into a different port. Maybe that killed it. The Rock says, so when you were fiddling with the back of the first mic, but before you cut to change the connection to the computer side, the audio briefly came back fine. I think the mic is still good. It could be. The mic could be still good. I don't know what's causing that red light, though. This is a whole different setup I'm using right now, and it's all due to that dock that died on me. Damn you, Doc. It died on me and caused all kind of problems. I was set. You know what? Sometimes you don't realize how good you have it until you don't realize how good something is, or you take it for granted until you don't have it. That's how I feel about that doc. I gave the doc a good review. I'm not gonna lie. I gave the doc a good review, but I didn't appreciate it like I should have. That was an awesome doc, man. I might reach out to them and be like, listen, the doc died. Could you send me another one? I did give you a shining review, but the fact that it died, I don't know. Maybe I just got a bad unit. I'm hoping. All right. BM says no worries. I'm a silent researcher. Thanks, BM. I appreciate the understanding. Greg says whipped cream. Yes, whipped cream. I don't know why I didn't want to say whipped cream. That was in my mind, whipped cream, but it didn't hit me. But yes, whipped cream. Absolutely. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the stories, you guys. Actually, I'm not going to do that. So let's go ahead and get to the stories. So the first story we got here is a DeepSeek story. And we talk about DeepSeek all the time, man. Everyone's been talking about DeepSeek. It's been the talk of, I'm about to say the town, but the talk of the country. I know I have a Steelers cup. I'm not a Steelers fan. Do not get it mixed up. This is out of necessity right here. Solely out of necessity. Okay. But yeah, DeepSeek in the news today. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the stories we got here queued up about DeepSeek. All right, here we go. All right, so DeepSeek. A lot of things about DeepSeek happened in the last week. So just to catch everybody up, Monday. I mean, people say Monday DeepSeek came on the scene, but people were talking about DeepSeek back like around Christmas time. So this is not totally new, but I'm thinking it just blew up Monday, right? Because this company was around doing things around Christmas time. Check Reddit. Check Reddit. But essentially, Oh, well, this is the wrong one. Why am I here? Why would I be on Apple's? Oh, I see why. I see why I'm on that now. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's not. Okay. All right. So this is not keeping up with me. So I'm going to try to change this one more time here. I'm moving faster than my software, clearly. It doesn't want to keep up with me. All right. I don't know why doesn't want to do it. I guarantee this is the doc. I'm going to blame the doc for everything that happens here. Why? This is not helpful. But we're going to do this right here. All right. So China's DeepSeek. I got to extend this right here. For some reason, my windows aren't proportionate to what they should be. But we're gonna roll through. We're going to get through this today. DeepSeek AI watching what you type and what you do. Now, this has been a story about DeepSeek, and this is something I brought up when we first started talking about DeepSeek, is that this is an app that blew up amongst all the China relations problems or China hacking problems that we're going through in the US. And it comes on the heels of other AI models from China that have biases, right? Like we can talk about Tiananmen Square all day, but this is something that people point to whenever they talk about something coming out of China as far as AI is concerned. What will it tell you? What won't it tell you? That kind of thing. So I was always concerned about. Well, I'm always concerned about anything coming out of China now, considering all of the hacking claims and investigations that are going on with all of the Chinese companies. So I'm just like, why would people jump on this? Why, I get it, it's the cost. It's the cost. Things are cheaper. But it's just it's like you need a screwdriver or you need a drill. And the drill costs $50, right? But you're like, there's a $10 drill over here. I mean, it doesn't have all the bits I need. It's not as powerful. I'm sorry. Let's change that. Let's change that narrative. The $10 drill over here. It does everything I want it to do. Has all the bits, has the power I need. It's just a lot cheaper. And I have to watch commercials every time I use it. Is that a trade-off? There's a drill over here that costs $50, but I'll choose a cheaper one because it's cheaper, although I have to watch these commercials. And these commercials, I'm not even interested in the stuff they're trying to sell me, but I got to watch them because I want to use the $10 drill. I'm going to buy the $50 drill. Getting a discount is not that big of a deal to me when I'm trying to get something that I actually want and need. And then when it's a tool, I'm not skimping. I mean, if I can help it, you know what I'm saying? If I can help it. But yeah, that's the thing. So sending data to China. Now, people have been trying to figure out if this company is doing that kind of thing or not. I don't know, but what I can tell you is this. We do have information that they're collecting data. Collecting device information, OS information, keystroke information, IP addresses, prompt information is out there too, because as we'll see in another story, they left the database backdoor open. So a lot of information for users were just out there. So anyway, this is the kind of thing I'm skeptical about when dealing with AI, and it's more specifically Chinese AI models. As we see here, China's DeepSeek, the free artificial intelligence chatbot that's undercutting American counterparts, has prompted worries about whether it's safe to use. NBC's reporting this particular story here. While cybersecurity researchers say that the app does not immediately appear to be uniquely dangerous, it still carries substantial privacy risks, both as an app that follows China's laws and an artificial intelligence product that may collect and rearrange everything people tell it. And like I said, later on in this article, they get to the fact that it's that the company who behind DeepSeek has disclosed that the model collects a bunch of information. And where's that information being kept? Chinese servers. Who has access to that information? the Chinese government. I, I don't care about these political things. Like, none of that bothers me. What does bother me is, like I said, I've been a victim of the backdoors that the Chinese hackers have been like exploiting in the United States. So for me, this kind of thing hits home. So I'm always concerned about this kind of thing, even though I'm not politically concerned. I'm security concerned. And when you hear things like they're collecting data, you know where it's going. You know who has access to it. If they're admitting to collecting the data, like, there's not a question here. So just be careful, I guess, is the point I'm trying to make here. If you're going to use the DeepSeek R1 model, just be careful about how you go about using it. Later on, there will be local versions of this that run on device, and you don't have to run it on a cloud server like what you have to do now. So just keep that in mind if you're deciding to go the DeepSeek R1 route. The more you know, always the better. Another thing, well, we got a lot of stories to talk about when it comes to this DeepSeek thing. Another thing that was big on my list was the energy efficiency of the particular app. So essentially, the model was trained on cheaper chips, and that's because of the export ban on processors and CPUs being shipped to China from U.S. companies. There's a ban prohibiting what they can send, how much, and all of those things. But because of that, DeepSeek used really low power chips, and they didn't need a lot of these low power chips to train their models. So that was the energy savings that everyone was talking about, which is what sent the stock market into a frenzy Monday, because they're like, whoa, if this company can train its models that are on par with OpenAI's best model right now, why are we spending so much money on OpenAI stock? That's when the sell-off happened. And a lot of people made some money from the sell-off, because when prices dropped, you know people are going to be buying. Buy when price is low. So that was the concern here. That was the energy concern. A lot of analysts and investors were just concerned about, hey, if they can do this with a minimal amount of energy and money, for that matter, why is the stock prices for OpenAI so high? Why are their expectations for what AI is going to cost, with their expectations and their projections for data center costs and all of those things? Why are those so high if this company is doing it for a fraction, literally a fraction of the cost? So that's the concern. That's why the stock market took a hit, because a lot of markets rely on energy. Like, a lot of people make their money off of energy and getting energy and using the energy. So less energy use, you're saving money, brings down stock prices of things. But then when you get into the nuts and bolts of it, you realize maybe it's not what they say it is all the time. I brought up a fact that the DeepSeek team weren't forthcoming about how much money they spent on training the models, because they only disclosed the money that it took over the last year to train this current iteration of the R1 model. But like I said in a previous live, these DeepSeek models are based on models that came before it, and we don't know how much time or money went into training those models. And then there's another caveat with them training their models on OpenAI systems, and we're going to get into that too. So when you're not forthcoming about how much money you spent, you're not forthcoming about what kind of energy you're spending, because there's some stories coming out that they could have been using chips that they should not have had. That's another thing. I'm going to hold off judgment on that until I get an actual concrete story of someone saying, yes, we know what they were using. But when you're not forthcoming about some things, where there's smoke, there's fire kind of a thing, and we've got proof now that they've definitely trained their models on OpenAI stuff. So like, they're not being truthful about a lot of stuff when it comes to how they trained their models. So it's falling apart. But it doesn't matter, though, because the damage is done. They're here. And even if they're not 100% honest about how they came to get this particular model trained, it definitely costs less than what OpenAI, what it costs OpenAI to train their models. It may not be to the degree that they're saying it is, but definitely less. Definitely less. So the notes I have down here from this particular article is basically what did I equate this to? I think I equated this to American energy models, like when chips get used and chips use less power on an individual basis to train their models. Like I said, people are going to be concerned about the energy savings, and stocks are going to take a hit when that happens. But the energy savings to me are negligible, because anytime you have an energy savings as human beings, we're not going to save that energy. We're just going to use more, right? We're just going to be like, okay, well, we have room to use more energy, so let's do that. We're not going to save energy. We're just going to use more energy, and that's basically what this article gets at. They talk about the energy consumption. They talk about how the chips or the chips that they were using were low power. They even mentioned the chips that they claimed that they used here. So it's a good read from the AP. It doesn't really get down into the nitty gritty as far as claiming what they do. A lot of speculation in the article, but it is a good read if you want to get some more information about the energy aspect of the DeepSeek models. All right, let's go on to the next one we have here. The next story we got up here is the fact that DeepSeek has a image model now, not just a text model, a large language model. They have an image model now as well called Janus Pro. And it competes with Stable Diffusion and OpenAI's DALL-E. And in some cases, it beats those models. So let's take a look at some of those things we have here. So I looked at a couple pictures we have here, and I think we have some other ones. Yeah. So let's take a look at some of the pictures we have. Now, one thing I will say about the Janus Pro image model, it may be better than DALL-E, and I think we have some graphs too to talk about where they fall on the spectrum. But I'm going to say, what we have here is Janus on the left and Janus Pro on the right. When we see the two pictures of the face of a beautiful girl. The images look super soft. The images look super duper soft. And I'm not sure if that's intentional. I'm not sure if the images being soft is intentional or not, but that's definitely one of the things I noticed about this versus other imaging models. Other imaging models, they're good, right? But they photorealistic, and they look super clear and photorealistic when you make that the prompt. But these, I'm assuming they want photorealistic because they look quasi photorealistic, but they look super soft. And what I mean by soft is, just not super sharp, if that makes sense. Like even the CGI photos that are getting created look super sharp. All this looks super soft. Going to this particular image right here. Now, this is what I thought was super impressive about the model creating images. Now, you can read this sign. It's done in a stylized way. You can read it. It's clearly legible. Even the small print below the big print is super legible. And that's something you don't get. I work a lot with imaging AI models for graphics and for video elements. I try to get it to spell things sometimes. It's horrible. It never works the first time. Now, I'm not sure how many prompts it took them to get this. Like, they don't say. But the fact that it can do that, that's pretty impressive. Getting text that good stylized in AI is an impressive feat. It doesn't seem like it's a big deal, but it's a big deal. It's totally a big deal when you're creating images with AI. So, this is impressive to me. And this image doesn't look soft. Maybe it is soft, and I just don't notice it because it's text, right? But it doesn't look soft like this other thing did. So this tweet basically says the large black backboard has following text: serving souls since 2012. Additionally, there are small selections with more detailed information, but the main heading is clearly visible. That's impressive. The images, like these right here, don't look impressive. Like the dog on the left here, super soft, super soft. The girl with the hat in the field, super soft. Like it's like adding a bit of anime-ish, cartoon-ish vibe to a real image almost. That's how it looks. And then you add some softness to it for good measure. I don't like it. I don't like it. Let's go to the chat real quick. So in the chat we have Jay says someone asked about whether Gemini works on Note Max in Kit's comments, so I tried it. Its Flash 2.0 version doesn't know its own name. Kept thinking I was asking about Macromedia Flash. Wow, really? I use Gemini. I just completed a video that I'm editing up and getting up hopefully today, where I used Gemini, the Gemini app, to demonstrate some of the effects of the eInk Center. And so I didn't get around to actually using the app. I just put it on my tablet to kind of demonstrate some of the icons and things like that. But I didn't use it as far as asking any questions. That's very interesting though, Jay. Very interesting. I'm going to try that now. Dr. Ling says, too bad you can't ask about Tiananmen Square. Yeah, it's just not going to happen. Any Chinese model. And we dealt with this back when Boox put that ByteDance model on AI model on their devices trying to save money. But you know what's funny? Onyx uses Azure for their cloud services. And by extension, you get access to GPT, whatever version comes bundled in with Azure. So it's funny that Boox or Onyx went with a ByteDance model to try to save money, seemingly, right? I can't think of another reason why they would do that. They went with ByteDance's AI model instead of Microsoft's Azure models, which uses ChatGPT. And that caused a bunch of backlash, right? Because that model from ByteDance had biases and it wouldn't talk about certain things. And it talked about Tiananmen Square in a certain type of way that kind of upset people. Tiananmen Square seems to be the test for Chinese models. But through any event, it's odd to me and very interesting to me that now, as we'll see in a later story, the R1 model from DeepSeek is going to be a part of the Azure cloud software. So that'll be one of the models you can pick. So Onyx will be able to just, which is interesting. I didn't think about this until just now, which means that Onyx will be able to switch over their AI to the DeepSeek R1 model seamlessly. Like there will be nothing for you to even do or know for them to switch that over, because the R1 model is going to be a selectable model in the list of models that you can choose in the Azure Cloud suite. Very interesting. Very interesting. I gotta keep my eye on that. I'm gonna keep my eye on that. That's a very interesting thought. All right, let's go. Keep going to the chat here. Dr. Lane, too bad you can't speak about Tiananmen Square. Yeah, apparently it's pretty easy to get it to talk about Tiananmen if you know how to ask it. That's interesting. Well, I mean, that's all AI, right? All AI is going to give you a no to you asking a basic question about something it shouldn't give you an answer to. Prompt engineering, though, how good are you at it? That's the question. Because if you're good at prompt engineering, you can get AI to tell you whatever you want. I mean, you can even get it to lie to you, right? So, Greg says, I spent a lot of money on streaming just not to watch commercials. There you go. I think that's in response to the buying the drill, paying more for what you need instead of just paying a cheaper price and then having to deal with something extra on the back end just to get it for a cheaper price. Oh, cat here. Yeah, I'm not with that. I'm not with that at all. Like I will pay to get rid of commercials. Like I don't want commercials on my Google feed, so I pay for the Google Premium because I don't want to watch commercials. When I see a commercial, I'm like, oh, this is appalling. You don't have Google Premium? Oh, it was nice knowing you. And I'm out of there. And I'm out of there. Especially YouTube. Yes, especially YouTube. Especially YouTube. Dr. Ling says capitalism. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. This doesn't look very good to be honest, says Jay. I think that's in response to the AI images from DeepSeek's new model, Janus. Dr. Ling says uncanny valley. Yeah, but this isn't. Yeah, they got to get better than this to be uncanny valley. They ain't even meeting uncanny valley standards right now. Like, I wish it was uncanny valley. That would at least give me something. Like, oh, it's too human, but not. This is just soft. Let's go ahead and go on to the next story we got here. What else we got? How's everybody doing today? Hope you're having a good day. More DeepSeek stories likely used. So it looks like DeepSeek likely used OpenAI models to train its R1 model. So let's go ahead and take a look at that here. So according to the BBC, OpenAI says Chinese rival using its work for their AI apps. And this is kind of what I alluded to earlier when we were talking about DeepSeek and them not being totally forthcoming about how they're doing what they're doing. And once you've lied to me once, I'm like, it's the benefit of the doubt. You've lied twice, I'm done. You won't get a third time. You won't get a third time. So it's just very suspect. Very suspect. But what we have here in this article is basically covers this practice called distillation, which is against OpenAI's terms of service to use their AI to train their own models. So distillation is what this article is essentially about. And if you want to learn more about that, definitely check out this article from the BBC. It's a really good deep dive into that process. But essentially, if you're using an AI model to train your model, that's distillation. That's against OpenAI's terms of service. But who cares about OpenAI's terms of service? Oh, please stay where you're at, microphone. Please stay. I had to jam this thing on here. It may stay. It might. God, please stay. All right. I think it's odd that OpenAI would even care if DeepSeek is training their models on their model. Like, why would OpenAI care? Now, I get why the rest of the world would care. I care. Because I'm just like, oh, it's just another thing to point at and say, what are you really doing, bro? What are you really doing? We don't even know. But you're collecting my data. I'm sorry. I won't be using DeepSeek. I'm sorry. R1, no. I won't be doing a demonstration of that. But why would OpenAI care? They're literally stealing from artists on a by second basis. Like, the time it took me to say that, they probably stole from 1,000 artists. How did OpenAI train their models on the whole of the internet? Illegally, mind you. Like, so I don't think OpenAI should care. And if they do care, I don't care that they care. They steal all the time. They're still, like I said, they've stole 1 billion pieces of artwork the time it took me to say that. So I don't care how they feel about this. Just deal with it, OpenAI. You've been doing it for years. So if somebody's doing it to you, good. They should be. That's my thought. OpenAI should be taken advantage of because they've been doing it and they're making billions off of the backs of artists who will never get a dime. I'm sorry. We'll move on. It just seems odd to me that they would bring this up. They didn't. The BBC did. But still, you get the point. You get the point. So I just think that's the irony. I think that's the irony in all of this. It's like, and I actually wrote this down. It's like a drug dealer calling the police because they got robbed. Like, what? Like, bro, you're doing illegal things already. That someone did something illegal to you. You can't. Okay, we'll move on. We'll move on. Let's get to the next story here. So exposed DeepSeek database revealed chat prompts and internal data. And this is a Wired article. Now, I couldn't get all the data from this Wired article because they kept me from it. So I had to listen to it. They will let you listen to articles, even though if you don't pay for the article, you can listen to it. So if you want to, I think if you go to this article, they will let you read it. But I went there like 1,000 times in a day, so they cut me off. You may be able to read this article if you want a deeper dive into this. Good stuff. Oh, well, oh, oh, too soon. No, it's not too soon. It's not too soon. Let's go to the chat real quick before we deep dive into this, because I think I'm missing some things. Dr. Lean says, uncanny valley. Oh, we got Dr. Lean, good artist copy, great artist steal. That's one of my favorite quotes. That's one of my favorite quotes from Steve Jobs. I don't know who the original quoter was, but when I heard it, it came out of Steve Jobs' mouth. And I've been living like that every day since. Yeah, I just think that's a apt example here. OpenAI did it, stole. Now DeepSeek's stealing. It's just, you can't cry to the cops, OpenAI, after you illegally sold drugs and then someone robs you. Just that you have to just take that hit. You gotta just shut your mouth and take that hit. Do better next time. Do better next time. Like, that's what you should do in that instance. All right. So yeah, exposed DeepSeek database revealed chat prompts internal data. So like I was saying, this particular story right here, basically researchers from Wiz found a user database exposed online. And I mentioned this earlier when we were talking about DeepSeek. It's DeepSeek 2. I just don't trust it. Backdoors being let. This sounds very Chinese hacker-ish to me. Like all the stories I've covered through the late last year about all the investigations the U.S. government is doing into Chinese companies, Chinese technology companies. I think, was it Linksys? It might have been Linksys. No, it wasn't Linksys. So, but there was a company that I bought a Netgear. There we go. So anyway, but the point being that a lot of these companies use backdoors as a way to allow attacks, and they leave these backdoors open for hackers to take advantage of. So when I saw this, that's just what I thought. Like, this is just, it's too many red flags, people. It's too many red flags over this thing. Like, I don't, it's like, I don't even know what it's like. All signs are pointing to don't deal with this, but here we are. And Microsoft, oh boy, we'll move on. So anyway, they had AI API keys were exposed, prompts from users were exposed, user data was exposed in this backdoor. It's since been locked down. That's what this article basically is talking about. It's talking about the people who, the research group Wiz, who found the backdoor, and also kind of put out the information that, hey, user information is available to whoever wants to get it through this backdoor. It would seem to be, and from what the article is saying, it didn't take a lot of effort to get into the system. And they were basically saying, hey, if it's this easy for someone to do this, and we weren't even trying, malicious actors would try and do way worse than what we did, which is basically just access information. So just know that there have been backdoors where people have accessed user data from DeepSeek servers. So again, people, use this tool with a bit of caution, okay? Just be careful out there. Just be careful out there. Let's go ahead and go to the chat real quick before we go to the next story here. BM says this will make Drake using BlackBerry stock rise. Listen, BlackBerry was, you could talk all the crap, but BlackBerry was a super secure platform. Super secure platform. And I loved it until I didn't. But yeah. Dr. Ling, Brian Thompson. Oh, we got it. Brian Thompson is here. What up, Brian? Yeah, so let's go ahead and go to the next story here, which we have Italy blocks DeepSeek on AI or on Italy app stores, which I thought was an interesting caveat to add to this story. So we got from Reuters, Italy's regulator blocks Chinese AI app DeepSeek on data protection. What do I have here before we go into this? Let's go ahead and just read an excerpt from this. Italy's data. Let's go ahead and get this bigger here because your boy needs specs. I have them on, but still. Italy's data protection authority, the Garante, said on Thursday it had ordered DeepSeek to block its chatbot in the country after the Chinese artificial intelligence startup failed to address the regulator's concerns over its privacy policy. The watchdog has questioned DeepSeek this week about its use of personal data, particularly seeking information on what personal data is collected, from which sources, for what purposes, on what legal basis, and whether it's stored in China. And well, some of these questions we already know. Yes, it's stored in China. Yes, it's legal. For what purposes? I mean, we already know. Come on, chill out. What personal data is collected? That's interesting. We don't know that. We know they're collecting your device data, your IP data. We know that they're collecting prompt data. So yeah, we know a lot. We don't know enough though. So again, just another story to say countries are blocking this app. They're fudging numbers. They're not forthcoming about how they're doing what they're doing. And in some cases, they're just breaking the law. Just be careful out there, everyone. Just be careful out there. All right, so the next story we got here is going to be Microsoft adds R1 to Azure cloud services. So this is what I thought was ironic. Microsoft brings DeepSeek model to its cloud. And this is an article from TechCrunch. Microsoft's close partnership and collaboration with OpenAI might be suggesting that DeepSeek stole its IP and violated its terms of service. But Microsoft still wants DeepSeek's shiny new model on its cloud platform, Azure. So that's what I was talking about earlier when I was like, okay, well, hey, Onyx on their Boox platform got a little pushback from going with a Chinese model for AI in their platform not too long ago. They will have the same exact opportunity to do so because Azure is their cloud service provider for the Boox platform, Onyx's. It will be as simple as them just picking DeepSeek as the model instead of GPT as the model. You would not know a thing. I don't think you can choose it. You don't get a choice to choose what model you use. When they pushed that ByteDance model? Did we get a choice? Because that happened so quickly. I didn't get a chance to kind of like, and I never use AI on these devices, so that's not something that would have even come across my desk. But for people who did see that, did that model that Onyx used on their Boox platform, the ByteDance model, was there a choice given? Could you choose a different model there, or was the ByteDance model forced on you? If someone's in the chat knows that, let me know. If anyone in the chat knows that would be kind of interesting to know if that was a thing. Microsoft touts speed as an advantage, also adding a light version to run locally on devices soon. So I mentioned that they're going to be offering a model from a R1 model that's kind of distilled, a smaller version of it that can run locally on device. That's what I would use. When that hits, I'll probably use it because no data is being shared and sent anywhere. It's, well, assuming that's the assumption that no data is being sent or being sent anywhere. But yeah, so when that happens, I'll probably use it. I'll probably use it then. All right, Alibaba AI. Let's go ahead and check out this. We got a whole AI kick today. A lot of AI news happened over the weekend or during the week. We got Chinese giant Alibaba is flexing its muscles on the global race for artificial intelligence dominance, claiming the latest version of its Qwen 2.5 can take on top models from rivals, both foreign and domestic. And this is coming from Fox News. If you don't know what Alibaba is like the Amazon for the rest of the world. So it's a store. Oh boy. It's a store where you can shop just like Amazon. So this is like a global, not global because Amazon's global, but it's like Amazon for the rest of the world. At least that's how I came across Alibaba the first time I came across it, like over a decade ago. But yeah, that's Alibaba, and everyone seems to be making an AI model now. Like it's crazy. I'm not sure what's going on with this AI model from Alibaba. I just wanted to highlight that we have another player. I mean, we probably have 10,000 players a day in the AI space. But when Alibaba is getting into the AI business, like you can just expect your local mom and pop store to have an AI model running pretty soon. Like you're gonna go into your local bodega and be like, "Can I get a bag of chips? Yeah. Would you like our latest AI model to go with that? The subscription is free with the bag of chips for 3 months, and then after 3 months, we start billing you 50 cents per query." It's just everyone's got an AI model now. It's just this is AI world we're living in right now. So just be ready for it this year. Next thing we got on the agenda will be, actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and look at this. I think this is important. I think this is interesting. So I scoffed at the Alibaba model, right? AI is a catchphrase at this point. Ed, how's you doing? Thanks for joining. Let's get everyone's going for Ed here. I appreciate you joining, bro. The thing here that I find interesting, and I scoffed at this information when I first saw it. I'm like, I'm going to talk about it only because it's a new player in AI, a new absurd player in the AI business. But then I saw the scores, and I'm like, okay, is this absurd still? Because they're crushing it. So we'll look at this model right here. We have the Qwen model in red. We have the DeepSeek in blue. GPT-4o in tan. Okay, so that's the most tan. So those are the only ones I really care about. If you look at it, Qwen 2.5 is dominating in all of these benchmarks right here. Now, these are probably hand-picked benchmarks that they were winning in, and they are not showing us the ones where they're losing in. But that's still impressive that they're winning in this number of benchmarks. It's just, I thought it was very interesting. I scoffed at it, then I saw the graph, and I'm like, oh, they're kicking butt. It's kicking butt. So yeah, anyway, AI, everyone's got it. And at this point, I guess what this illustrates is, at this point, everyone's got AI, and at this point, everyone's AI is pretty freaking good, right? There is a delineating factor here in AI, differentiating, oh, this AI is great at this AI is great at that. They're all good. I mean, they both got their strengths and weaknesses, but they're all super good. And if Alibaba, if Alibaba could pull up numbers like this, beating GPT-4o, I mean, they're not competing with AI 01. I mean, that's a different beast. I'm just saying, though. And Sonnet is not that powerful either. Now that I'm looking at this, I think these might be old models or models that aren't as powerful as the I forgot what they call that word. We have models that will go over their thought process for you to see and for them to evaluate and come up with a better strategy once they've evaluated their initial train of thought. So there we go, train of thought. So yeah, this is super interesting though. Older models, it looks like, but still they're beating the older model race, I guess, which is not that impressive anymore. So we'll move on. Next story we got here is Google Maps will change the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and we'll be changing Denali as well. Google is complying with President Donald Trump's executive action that renamed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Soon the name change will appear on Google Maps, which is why it's interesting to me. Google Maps story. On a post on X, Google explained that it has a long-standing practice of applying name changes when they've been updated in official government sources. The name will be tweaked with the Geographic Names Information System, a government database of names and location data that is updated. Google will also change the name of Mount McKinley, the nation's highest peak, from Denali. Former President Barack Obama renamed the Alaska landmark to Denali in 2015 as a nod to the region's native population. Now, I don't really care. Ed says, am I talking about experimental reasoning? Well, experimental reasoning, but the term I was looking for was train of thought. So they have the new models that they have the train of thought to where they can show you their reasoning for why they were doing things and what they actually did and the route they took to get to that endpoint. For you to see as a researcher, but as well, it allows the AI to come up with a plan of action, and then evaluate that plan of action to see if it can do something better. So twofold. I thought this Google Maps renaming name was interesting because Denali. Like I mean, I get the Gulf of America. That makes total sense to me. Total sense. But why Denali? Like, is it like GM makes a Denali? Like, what is GM going to do now? Do they just change the name of their car from the GM Denali to the GM Mount McKinley? I happen to like Denali. It sounds good rolling off the tongue, Denali. Like, I never saw the car before this story. I liked the car name. I knew that there was a car called the Denali. I think I've seen it a few times in the wild, but I never knew what it actually was, like really looked at it. But yeah, we should just keep Denali. I guess is the point here. But I totally understand the Gulf of America. I totally get that. But Denali, we should definitely keep. T-Mobile price increase. So we talked about a T-Mobile price increase last week as well. Wrong story. We talked about a T-Mobile price increase last week as well, and I was like, oh no, we talked about a Netflix price increase last week, and I was like, Netflix is raising their price. I don't care because I get Netflix free from T-Mobile. Okay, so T-Mobile notifies customers of Netflix price changes. Still gives lowest plan for free. Who uses the lowest plan and takes ads? We just got done talking about I will pay more not to get ads. So guess what? The price of my plan went up. For those with the standard with ads plan that jumped to $7.99 from $6.99, T-Mobile says they'll continue covering this plan in full and customers would see no charge in their bill. T-Mobile has already updated its own fact to note the new $7.99 month perk. As part of the increase, T-Mobile customers might be wondering if or when their Netflix on us might see a new price. So though they're not raising that price, actually let's get on to the next paragraph here because that talks about what I'm interested in. For those on other more expensive plans, $6.99 is all that T-Mobile gives you to apply towards your higher tier plan. For example, in the text below, you can see that they will apply $6.99 a month towards my Netflix premium subscription. that now costs $24.99 a month, leaving me with an $18 a month bill for the standard plan, which now costs $17.99 a month. Customers should now owe $11 a month. I think that's crappy. I that was one of my perks. I got T-Mobile. They were like, "Oh, you get Netflix for free." A year after that, I started getting charged for Netflix. Now, yearly after that, my bill goes up, and it's just because of Netflix goes up. Now my T-Mobile bill has to go. I'm tired of all the price hikes from Netflix. It's affecting more than just Netflix now. Now it's affecting my T-Mobile phone bill. Like, come on, people. Let's get to the chat real quick. Ed says AI is a catchphrase at this point, and it is. People say AI for things that's not even AI. So yeah, AI is totally a catchphrase at this point. The original name was McKinley. Renaming both things again was just crazy. I didn't know that. So Obama changed it from McKinley to Denali. Okay, then you know what? Then this doesn't bother me then. Thanks, Ed. That doesn't bother me then. The fact that they're going back to Mount McKinley, if it was Mount McKinley before that, I'm cool with that. I don't think people should just be going and changing names of places that doesn't make sense. The Gulf of Mexico becoming the Gulf of America makes sense because in Mexico, they'll still see the Gulf of Mexico. In America, we'll see the Gulf of America. But no matter who's looking at the mountain range in Alaska, they're going to see Mount McKinley or Denali, not either or. So I don't think they should have been changed to Denali in that case. In that case, Mount McKinley it is. I'm okay with that. Dr. Ling says price hikes are happening because people continue to pay it. Right. You know what's going to happen with this stuff? What's going to happen with our internet streaming is the same thing that happened to cable. People are going to be like, "Oh, I want to unplug. It's cheaper to stream." Well, it was cheaper for about 5 years. Now streaming is so fractured that it doesn't cost you any less than what a normal cable subscription would cost you. When you add it to the fact you got to have Netflix because you got to have Netflix. you got to have Prime. You got to have Disney. You got to have Max. You got and Apple TV. Like you got to have and if you're a sports fan, you have to have all of these different services because the NFL, take the NFL for instance, they fracture the games into many different streaming services. So if you want to see the season full of games, you have to have you got to have a handful of services in your tool belt. You got to have it. And in that case, some people are paying $80-$90 just for streaming services. That's not even talking about the fact that if you have Google TV, which costs by itself $80, it might be $90 a month right now. That's a cable subscription. Cord cutting is not a thing anymore. It's over. The cord cutting era ended 10 years ago. Yes, but you get the freedom with streaming. Maybe. Yeah, but what happens when the cable companies start bundling streaming services? You can guarantee that's coming. You can guarantee that's coming. Cable companies, either two things are going to happen. Cable companies are going to start bundling streaming services in your cable subscription, or streaming services are going to become cable companies and give you bundles of streaming services. Whichever way that happens, we are going to be offered bundles of streaming services at one cost. And I guarantee that sweet spot is going to be under $100. I might consider it if they added enough services. Dr. Lean says, I just get whatever is over the air NFL. Yeah, that means same here. I'm not paying for services to watch the NFL. I'm a Bills fan, but I mean, I'm not going to pay to get the Bills in Philly. I'm just not. Greg says, I'm paying over $150. Is that just streaming, Greg, or is that cable and streaming? That would be interesting to know. Organizer Change says, Prime is the absolute best value because of all the other Prime benefits. I don't know, bro. I think the best value in streaming is YouTube. I'm not going to hold you. The best value for me in streaming is YouTube. Because you get YouTube without ads, or YouTube Premium. You get YouTube without ads. You get Google Music. You get, I don't know what the tier of storage backup you get or storage space you get, but you get that too. And some other stuff. Like Google gives you a ton for the YouTube Premium subscription. To me, that is the best deal in streaming. Like I would, if I stop paying for all my streaming services right now, and I don't pay for that many of them, but if I stop paying, my streaming bill right now is probably $40 a month. That's not including Google though. I see that as a totally separate thing, man. It's the best deal. All right, let's get into the other stores we got here. What do we got next? Next up, we got the smart. Here we go. The smartwatch I'm most excited for in 2025 isn't an Apple Watch or Google Pixel. It's the Pebble. Pebble users rejoice. Like I came into the Pebble situation after the damage had been done, so it was no need for me to jump into it. But I was super excited by it. Oh, let's go to the chat real quick to finish off our streaming deal. Greg says Google, YouTube, Disney, Netflix, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, probably something I'm missing. Okay, but no TV stuff. All streaming. Okay, but you see what I'm saying though? That's like what we used to pay for a cable subscription back in the day. You know what I mean? If you had Climax or if you had Cinemax, HBO, you know what I mean? You threw ESPN in there. Showtime. It says you get all of that with Prime Plus, all of the Amazon shipping stuff. Yeah, it is a good deal. I'm not going to hold you. Don't get me wrong. The Amazon deal is really good. You get music, you get cloud storage with Amazon, you get video, you get photo backup service, you get the shipping, right? And Amazon has a bunch of secondary freebies that you get if you have some of their products. It's a good deal. I mean, I can't live without either of them. Prime is a mainstay. The Google Premium is a mainstay for me. I need both. They can burn everything else to the ground. I don't care. All right, let's go back to the story. So, the Pebble. How many Pebble Watch owners do we have in the chat right now? We got any Pebble Watch owners in the chat? I never had one. Like I said, I came up on the bandwagon too late. The damage had been done by the time I realized Pebble was a thing. And this is cool because I do eInk. The screen on this device is going to be an eInk screen. I love that. All right, so what we have here. Even though I haven't used my Pebble Watch for about a decade, I'm excited to see the feature list of what Majikovsky wants from a new Pebble Watch. Let's see what he said above. So TechCrunch reported that Pebble founder and CEO Eric Michkowski plans to bring back Pebble. After Fitbit acquired Pebble, Fitbit itself was purchased by Google. Eric stated that Google plans to open source the Pebble software track. I think it's done that already. And he is ready to bring back Pebble. The article stated that Mr. Majikovsky still wears a Pebble smartwatch. So this story comes from TechCrunch, or I'm not sorry, ZDNet. This story comes from ZDNet, and basically, let me go here. Basically, the Fitbit bought Pebble back in the day, and that's where things kind of started going wrong, which I was talking about, and talking about the Pebble timeline here. Pebble started having troubles. Fitbit bought Pebble. Fitbit was then bought by Google. Google then open sourced the Pebble OS, and more importantly, made it hackable. So it's open source already. So if you are a programmer, you can create some Pebble software. But another thing that makes this awesome is that it makes it available for anyone to work on it with Maciekowski and create something great. Now, I'm in this, like I said, just because of the eInk screen. I think that's where it starts for me. The software has to be good too, but I would purchase this just off the fact that it's a watch with an eInk screen. Like, my Fitbit now gets a week of battery life. Like, I don't have to charge it for, a week at a time. If that thing had an e-ink screen, I probably would never have to charge it, ever. You just buy it, and then it lasts a lifetime. Or something close. I mean, I would imagine the battery life would be ridiculous on a Fitbit with an e-ink screen. Ed says, I wish Fossil would bring back their e-ink hybrid watches. Perfect balance between old school, mechanical, and e-ink. I didn't know Fossil even had that. I didn't know Fossil had one. Let's check it out. I gotta know now. Oh, a color e-ink screen. What?
On Alexa control for a voice assistant.
Whoa. Now that's interesting. That's super interesting. A color e-ink screen on a watch. I'm with that. I'm totally with that. You don't need a bright thing to see you're watching. The e-ink screens are perfect for watches. Like super perfect for watches.
On the watch, although it doesn't have a built-in speaker, and you have to still be connected to your phone via Bluetooth for that part to work. So if Alexa integration as well as SpO2 aren't important metrics, then again, you consider the Gen 5 original model if you want to save a few bucks, but that's going to be up to you. Now, there, of course, are a few benefits to having an e-ink display, and one of them is going to be outdoor readability, as we've touched on in prior videos on this tech. It also consumes very little power.
Because that's the problem with the watch battery, is that you want to be able to see this outside, even in a brightly lit room or warehouse or whatever the case may be. That's why when I was wearing smartwatches like heavily was I was in the retail business. And you'd be outside or in a really brightly lit warehouse or something. You still got to turn the brightness up on your smartwatch to get it to be a point where you can see what's going on. With the e-ink display, that wouldn't even be a thing. Outside, not a problem. Front light for when it's in dark situations, marvelous. Throw a sensor on it that can sense when you need the front light. Like that's how watches should be. I mean, honestly, there's nothing watches are doing that requires them to have a color screen, in my opinion.
Power, at least when it's not refreshing the pixels. It can actually sit on a static image persistently without draining.
Okay, I'm looking at this dude's fingernails in his hands. I am jealous. Like, I need a manicure or something. I'm not doing well. I'm jealous.
And that's why this watch in particular can get upwards of 2 weeks of usage with just heart rate monitoring on and also step counting before you have to recharge it again. And the third advantage of a hybrid...
I like it. I mean, we ain't even got to go into that. I like it. I want to watch with an e-ink screen now. I think that's what I'm going to start looking for. 100%. I'm definitely about to start looking for me a e-ink display watch. Man, I know this is not going to be good. I see sleepless nights in my future looking for the perfect e-ink watch. All right. Let's move on. What else we got here? Oh boy. So these are images. No, that's just not. Oh boy, that's something different. I don't know why that's even there. Okay. Going on. Any thoughts on that Pebble Watch situation? Do we want that? Do we want to watch with eInk? I mean, would that be something that people want other than me? I mean, I want it, of course. Ed clearly wants it. Does anybody else out there want an eInk watch? Are we excited for Pebble? I thought this crowd would be a Pebble crowd. Let me know in the comments if you're watching this on the replay too. I would be super interested to know. Next, we got Apple. Oh boy, no, we don't. Why is this there? Oh boy. Aw. That sucked a little bit. So I had a slide up. Oh, there we go. Whew. All right, here we go. Android XR is the next story, not Apple. Android XR comes out swinging with first look at Samsung Project Muhan, but the VR headset just makes me want AR glasses more. And this is an article coming from Tech Radar. And I picked this article because they're showing the actual device. And the only other articles that are really good are talking about MKBHD's video, which if you haven't seen that video, definitely check it out if you're interested in Android XR, which is the operating system for their headsets of all kinds, glasses or the visors here, the ski goggles as I like to call them. What do we got? I thought we had some specs down here. Oh, we don't. Essentially, the big thing about MKBHD's video is that he really liked Gemini, the use of Gemini in these particular glasses here. He also liked that they were as good as the Apple Vision Pro in as far as visual quality and aspects go. The pass-through, he says, was pretty much as good. So this seems to be on par with the Apple Vision Pro, but definitely going to be a fraction of the cost. I think that the Apple Vision Pro is what, $5,000? I mean, I can't see this thing being over $1,500. Maybe $1,999. Samsung sells a $2,000 phone, so I can believe that they would sell a $2,000 headset. Let's go to the chat real quick. Jay says, by the way, Voya did his Note Max keyboard review, and he has the double space problem just like Jeff's and just like both the ones I got. Yeah. I ordered a replacement early, same issue. That makes 4 bad keyboards. Wow. That's incredible. I'm gonna put that on a list to talk about. I'll do some research on that. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not on this Note Max wave. Like I just bought 2 scientific instruments. Both of those could have been Note Maxes. I could have bought 3 Note Maxes for the price of those 2 instruments. So it's not a problem of getting the device. I don't want it. Like I'm at a point right now in the eInk space where I'm not buying a new eInk device until they fix this ghosting. Like no one cares about the ghosting. I get it. No one cares about the ghosting but me. Ghosting is something that you have to expect when you're getting into eInk. I get that. But I am this. Let's do this. There's 2 things I refuse to do in life. Well, there's lots of things I refuse to do in life, but there are 2 big no-nos for me in life. Just as an overall life thing. I don't negotiate with terrorists. I don't. Not that I've ever had the opportunity. Not that I will ever have the opportunity. But I will never, ever, ever negotiate with terrorists. If I get abducted, I've instructed my family. Do not negotiate with anybody. Tell them good luck and go kick rocks. Roderick will be okay. And the same for them. If they get abducted, I told them, listen, I'm not negotiating with nobody for your life. I'm sorry. I don't negotiate with terrorists. My stance on terrorist negotiation is the United States' stand on terrorist negotiation. We just don't do it. We just don't do it. Second thing I just won't do. I refuse to buy technology that's new, but worse than the old stuff. What? What? You want me to spend my hard-earned money? You only have a certain amount of money you're going to make in your life. There's a cap. I'm not spending none of that on tech that's not better than last year's. I'm sorry. I'm just not doing it. Like, I don't care how big it is. I don't care how quick it is. Is it as good as last year's product? No. Well, I don't care. I don't care. Like, you telling me that we go backwards in the ghosting department for what? What's the trade-off? Like what is the trade-off of that? What could you give me that I would say, yes, I'll take worse ghosting for that? What is that thing? What are we like? What is the trade-off that you're making? You're making a trade-off. I get that everyone. I get that a lot of people love the Note Max. Matter of fact, I think everyone who's got it loves it. That's cool. Like, I'm pretty sure people have. Like, right now, what do I have right now that no one cares about? Okay, all right. I got hops over here on my, you can't see it. Jeez. It's a rabbit. I have a rabbit on my stand over here. I love that rabbit. Love that rabbit. You know who else loves that rabbit? No one. No one cares about that rabbit. I do. I love it. I get it. We all love things that some people just don't care about. Note Max is one of those things that everybody seems to love, but I just don't care about it at all. And that's just because the ghosting. Like, I'm literally of the mindset right now that I'm not buying another new eInk device until they fix this. I'm just not. I'm good. I got the Go 10.3, leaps and bounds better in the ghosting department than anything new coming out. I got the Nomad. I'm good. I'm good. I don't even want to touch the Note Air 4C anymore. It's sitting right here. I touch that thing just to do like video information on, but using it just to do stuff? No, and not absolutely not. I'm not touching that thing. Ghosting, horrible. Notes app optimization, terrible. Light bleed, like the Go 10.3 is all I need. Like, I'm good. I'm rocking with that. I'll make Go 10.3 videos all day, every day until I can't make another Go 10.3 video if they don't come out with something better. I'll make Nomad videos all day, every day. Like, people will know the Nomad in and out because of me and making videos. Because if that's all I'll do. That's all I'll do. I refuse to spend. Now, if they send it to me for free, okay, I'll work with it. I'm not spending my money on it though. So, like, right now for eInk, unless a company's sending me a review unit for free, I'm not buying any more devices. I'm just not. Like, I use it and I see that ghosting and it immediately angers me. I'm like, this thing costs $600 and it's worse than the thing that I spent $400 on. Why? I'm good. Like, I'm good. I'm good on buying people's products just because they release a new one. I'm good. Make it better. If you release a new product and you make it better, I'm good. I'm buying that. There ain't nothing I want to buy right now. Like I said, I spent 3 Note Maxes worth of money just now on instruments. And and that's a way better use of my money than the Note Max would have been, in my opinion. Like I said, I know people love it. I get it. I know people love it. I just personally don't care. I just personally don't care. All right, let's go to Apple. Well, you know what, Ed? I'm a 10.3 fanboy right now. Like legitly, the 10.3 and the Nomad is all I need. I could toss the Manta out of the window right now and wouldn't think twice about it. The Note Air 4C, I don't even know why I still have it. I don't. Honestly, I should have sold that thing a month ago. And there ain't another device on the market even worth talking about. So let's just leave that there. If you got the Nomad and you got the Go 10.3, any one of those, you're doing good right now. You're doing good. Like you're saving yourself some headaches. It says the ghosting will be addressed through software. Nomad has bad ghosting. No, it doesn't. The Nomad does not have bad ghosting, bro. If you want to see bad ghosting, check out the Nomad. I mean the Manta. You can't even compare the ghosting on the Nomad and the Manta. It's night and day. I've done the test. I mean, I'll do the video too, just show the world, but I'm telling you, like the Nomad is for ghosting. Chill out, and it's quicker. I'm doing videos on those. Like I said, I'm doing Nomad and 10.3 content all day, every day. Makes things easier for me. Like, there's no other device worth talking about until they fix this ghosting issue, until they fix the optimization issues. Because I don't have these optimization issues with the Go 10.3. Yeah, Nomad has a Carter 1000. I think that's why. Also, think the Nomad is perfect fit for that front lit 7-inch Carter 1300 display, though. It is. It would be, Jay. Absolutely. That would be a perfect fit. And I think the Nomad is a Carter 1100. I think the Nomad is 1100. The Go 10.3 is 1200. And I'm sticking with that. I'm not, and I don't even think it's Carter 1300 that's causing the problem. I think it's the new backplanes. I think the new backplanes, they're just not used to it, or don't know how to program it, or I don't know, man. I'm just chilling on it until they fix it. Until they fix the ghosting. I'm not about to buy a new product that has worse ghosting than in my old products. That's ridiculous. Well, I mean, for me. Jay says, that said, I get being a 10.3 fanboy. Yeah, I'm 10.3 all the way right now. I gave everything else a chance. I really did. I gave it the old college try. Boox is too feature rich. That's one of the downsides. If you're not a menu crawler, I'm a menu crawler, so they don't have enough features for me. Jay says, not such a thing, Dr. Ling. There you go, Jay. I'm with you, Jay. Yeah, I can't have enough. They don't have enough features for me. Ed says, I first noticed note ghosting on Nomad. Agree, Manta has it. Yeah, Manta is way worse than Nomad, in my opinion. Like so much worse. Like it's so much worse, it's a downgrade to me. Mr. Media says the 10.3 might be the best all-around device. It is the best all-around device, bro. Aaron, you hit the nail on the head. The 10.3 is the best all-around eating device right now on the market. Everybody else needs to stop playing and catch up. All says Go 10.3 for work and Max for home. Okay, good deal. At least you're not making any sacrifices at work, all. That's what's up. Jay says, Rod, I honestly think the 4.0 beta on the Go 10.3 has a lot of the 4.0 optimization issues fixed. Yeah, but the Go 10.3 never had those optimization issues in my experience. From day one, the Go 10.3 has been a dream. All says Air 4C on eBay. I mean, I should sell it. I'm just debating about selling it because of videos that I have to make. If it was about my use of the device, I would sell it. I would have sold it a month ago. But because I'm in YouTube, I have to consider, okay, well, am I going to need that device to make videos on comparing its crappiness to other devices that aren't as crappy? So that's where I am right now with the Note Air 4C. Greg says, getting very close to loving the Supernote. Ghosting is definitely tolerable. I don't see the problem. It's eInk. Right. Ghosting is a factor of eInk. But I got used to Nomad and Go 10.3 levels of ghosting. And once the ghosting on new products gets worse than the old products, to me, there's a problem. Jay says, me and Rod standing on a soapbox yelling at Onyx until we're hoarse to give us Supernote-like to-do features from Boox. Word. Literally, all they would have to do is index the boxes and index the asterisks, aka stars, and we're good. Actually, they would need to do one more thing, Jay. They would need to do one more thing, and I'm making a video about that. It's called What Onyx Needs to Do. Hold on. Matter of fact. All right, so I got that video up here. So I have a list, you guys. I think it's the July. All right, we got okay, this is not it, clearly. Oh, that wasn't it. No, this wasn't it either. Whoa. We got lists on lists. This list is definitely the list. Yeah, this is definitely the list. Oh man, I can't find it here. That sucks. All right, so I can't find the title, but the title of the video is essentially going to be what Onyx needs to do to get on par with the Supernote. And it's going to be all those things. But there's one more thing it needs to do. And I'll put that in the video. That would be a good start, though. That would be definitely a good start. Just got my Manta and the workflow is top notch. Yes, Dr. Ling. Like the Supernote platform is just good. I'm not a big Manta fan, but I am a Supernote fan. Aaron says, if boxes made the UI better to navigate, it would be way better than Supernote. It would be. And matter of fact, I might make that video or at least record that video today or tomorrow because I'm excited to do it now. There are a few things that Onyx could do to destroy the Supernote. I don't know if legally they can do these things, which is probably why they won't. But I know what will do it. Ed says, do a thick black line on the Nomad and drag it around. You will see it. Oh, no, there is ghosting on the Nomad, Ed. Don't get me wrong. I agree. There is ghosting on all eInk devices. I'm just saying the ghosting on the Manta is 10 times worse. Jay says, true about the 10.3 not having it before. I just mean the optimization issues on the Notes app are generally a feature of 4.0 on every device, but possibly fix the version of it for the Go. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Ed says, workflow is everything, which is why all around is so subjective. Yeah. Jay says, look at this guy's handwriting in his table of contents on his Manta. Secretly also a drafter. Word. I am. I used to be a drafter. Drafting sucks though, so I had to get out of that. Jay says my handwriting is trash. I'm like, yeah, I have trash handwriting. That's why I have to write in all caps if I want it to be legible. Aaron says there isn't a workflow I can't do on the 10.3. Every tool I need is there. I have used both, and I can say both are good devices. Or both meaning the Supernote. Agree, Dr. Ling, says Greg and Ed. Nothing without the workflow. Supernote has it down. Don't think Boox will catch up. There we go. That's what it was. What Onyx needs to do to catch up to the Supernote. I got to write that down. I think that's so great. All right. All right, what else we got here in the chat? We got Dr. Ling says, at J, I agree it's subjective. It all depends on use case and what other devices already exist in your personal workflow. Boox seems to be trying to replace iPads, tablets, and other laptops. I used to think that too, but now I'm of a different mindset about what they're trying to do. Organize for Change. Ed says, yes, you can do a lot of it, but not everything. They are both great devices, but Nomad is better thought out. That's subjective, but I can see the reasoning. Dr. Ling, for me, I have a laptop in my workflow, so my eInk device preference is more towards paper replacement. And I can see that, which is how I use. See, the thing for me is I use the Nomad or I use the Supernote platform as a paper replacement. I use the Go 10.3 as an all-arounder, as a processor. It's my document processor, if you will. Second brain, Supernote. Writing up stuff to have it published on the internet, Go 10.3. But I use the Supernote platform more because it gets all of the thoughts. It's second brain. Supernote, Nomad, and Manta, yeah. Aaron says, organizing for change. I'm not sure that the Supernote is that much better. It depends on what you're doing. It's definitely better in certain areas, without a doubt, in my opinion. Jay says, Dr. Ling, yep, which you can do to some degree, but not completely. There are interesting ways full Android apps can work better on eInk than LCDs, but you need to know the benefits and drawbacks and how to configure your eInk settings, which are, we got the video coming. Rod, any suggestions for a combined Remarkable Paper Pro and Manta workflow? Yeah, I tried that. Dr. Ling. I really did. I stopped using the Remarkable Paper Pro on a daily basis because it developed a line in it, and I haven't gotten it sent off yet. I need to go ahead and do that so I can start using it again. That line just bothers me, so I stopped using it. But what I was doing was using the Remarkable Paper Pro as a way to organize my recording. So what I would do is use the color in that to signify different things. I would write talking portions in a different color. I would write portions where I would have to be staring at the camera, and other portions and in a different color. So everything that I was doing was written in a different color and on a different layer. So if they were all together, I could see what layer they were on by what color they were on. And when I wanted to view the layers individually, you could view individual layers in that sense. So that's how I use the Remarkable Paper Pro. But it combined Remarkable Paper Pro and Manta workflow. This is what I would say about the Supernote. If you're going to use the Supernote platform in conjunction with another platform, use the Supernote as your second brain system. Ed made a really good video on this idea. Definitely go check his channel out. Organize for Change. If you're using two devices, use the Supernote as your second brain system. Paper replacement, second brain. All your thoughts, you'll be able to get to them easily and organize them better than any other system can organize your thoughts. So that's the superpower of the Supernote, the organization. That's a lot of superpowers to the Supernote, but that's one of them. So if you're working in combined workflow with the Remarkable Paper Pro, I would say use the Manta as your second brain thing, all your thoughts, organize them, and when you're ready to do something with them, then take the Manta over to your Remarkable Paper Pro, and then solidify those thoughts on the Remarkable Paper Pro where you have color and an infinite canvas to kind of just get everything going. I hope that helps. Jay says, I think the video series I make for training my dad on eInk is going to be a combo of paper replacement and second brain. Good idea. When you do that video, dude, I want to know because I want to watch it and promote it because I think that's going to be that's something that a lot of people should do, but don't have the ability to do when they're handing someone a device like this. And that video is going to be gold for anyone getting a new eInk device who've never had one before. So how you go about doing that is going to be key, but I definitely want to see that. Ed says, just the outline feature on Boox is torturous. When I watch it, it's the outline feature is so bad on the Boox. Like, there's no need to use the outline feature. It's so stupid. It's so trash. Video title. The outline feature on the Boox platform is trash. Here's why. Ed says, point of entry at the Supernote and ease of use is so much better. I agree. Keep feeling like I'm missing something when I'm using it. No, it's just terrible. Yeah, it is just terrible, Jay. Ed says, Supernote and Obsidian is the perfect second brain system. I haven't used Obsidian, but I will. If it augments and enhances the Supernote performance and the way you use the Supernote, then I'm all in. This says, I need to see how the Supernote Obsidian plugin workflows work. Me too. Absolutely. See, the outline process doesn't bother me how I use it. I agree it takes a few more steps than Supernote, but I don't think it's bad as being made. It's not as bad as it's being made out to be, Aaron. You're right. It's worse. It's worse than it's being made out to be. Dr. Ling, so far my only gripe with the Supernote platform is the separation of documents and notes. Whereas the remarkable, those seamlessly can live together. Nikki, yeah, I agree. Okay, I get that. It's the file system. I was thrown off by the file system of the Supernote too when I first started using it. I'm like, why am I being exposed to folders and the file system? I should never see that, right? It should always be in the background for a mobile device. But yeah, that's another thing there. All right. Let's move on. Last story we got here is Apple stuff. Let's see. Apple sales dip despite AI rollout. I think this title here should be Apple sales dip because of AI rollout. It was done horribly. They rolled it out in stages. They were only features that other phones and makers had for 2 years already. The phone launched on the premise of having the AI that it didn't have. It was a catastrophe. It's a catastrophe. We got here, sales of iPhones dropped at the end of last year and this is coming from the BBC. Sales of iPhones dropped last year as the tech firm's rollout of new artificial intelligence features was met with lukewarm response. Chief Executive Tim Cook said the new features helped to drive strong sales in the countries where they were available, such as the US. But iPhone sales slipped about 1% overall compared to last year. The company is also contending with other challenges, including the sales drop in China and the possibility of U.S. sales will be hit by tariffs threatened by President Donald Trump. He has called the tariffs up to 60%. Well, we're not getting into the tariff talk. So essentially what we have here is AI being cited. In this article, they kind of get to that point here. The AI is being cited for the lack in sales, even though Apple's overall sales as a company are way up. They're up. The iPhone specific sales are down. And I think that has all to do with AI. We talked about a few AI features on the iPhone that were making summaries in a few lives we did in the past, talking about when we talked about some stories of how it was summarizing articles and just straight up lying, saying some people were dead who weren't dead. Like, it was a catastrophe. It got so bad that they had to pull that feature from the iPhone. So the iPhone stopped giving AI summaries after a while because it was so bad. And I think, not that feature in particular downed them, but I think the fact that the features weren't that good, they were just catch-up features. The fact that they all weren't rolling out when the phone launched would definitely hurt. The fact that they rolled out in such a way that it took 6 months to get all the features out was crazy. So there's a lot of factors going into that. But I definitely think how they handled AI was the issue. And then, like the BBC says here, despite AI rollout, I think it was because of the AI rollout that all of this happened. But yeah, and the last thing we got here is basically the downfall of the Apple Vision Pro. Do we have that here? No, we don't. So on the backs of on the backs of this particular news about Google losing sales for iPhones, the Apple Vision Pro is basically dead as well. I mean, we just talked about Android's variety of the Apple Vision Pro, which is using Android XR on Project Muhan from Samsung, which should be out this year, by the way. They're saying, yeah, that thing's going to be out this year. And it won't cost the $5,000 that the Apple Vision Pro costs. So that should be an upgrade, right? That should be an upgrade for everybody who's looking into the AR, VR mashup and mix up. And like I said before, with people like MKBHD championing the Samsung Android XR system, especially the use of AI, the Gemini AI that's the same active AI that we get on the Pixel phones, I think that's a super big win. I think that's a super big win for the Android system and Google as a whole, but not so good for the Apple Vision Pro, which they stopped making parts for that months ago. Yeah, I just $5,000, even for a developer, that's pretty steep to get your hands on something that no one probably will have. You know what I mean? It just you bought a $5,000 toy. Bought a $5,000 toy. Let's get to the chat real quick. BM, how's it going, BM? Man, get the air horn going for BM. Are eInk chalkboard in use yet? That's a good point. I don't know. eInk chalkboards. Well, listen, you know I have my eInk chalkboard. It's not a chalkboard, it's a whiteboard. But you get what I'm saying. I have my eInk whiteboard right here where I stick eInk devices on, but just a big board that's eInk. Oh man. As long as Onyx doesn't make it, we're good to go. As long as Onyx doesn't make that eInk chalkboard, I think we're good. If Ratta made that board, we good to go. We are good to go. If Onyx makes that board, we'll be sitting there for hours waiting for it to refresh. The ghosting will be so... No, matter of fact, I don't know if the ghosting will be that bad. But it wouldn't be good if Onyx made it. It would be convoluted and chunky and bloated. We need something that's streamlined, that works really quickly if it's going to be a chalkboard. Jay says, every time someone says MKBHD, my brain translates it to MKOTB. Elder, millennial, and late Gen X problems. What is NKOTB? I don't know what that is. Jay says, ink, chalkboards, whiteboards would be crazy expensive, but interesting. Yes, they would. Yes, they would. The Quilla used to be, I think, says Ed. What are we talking about? What are we talking about there? All right, you guys, that's going to be the show for today. We got any Q&A to get to? We got any Q&A? Anybody got any eInk specific questions that we want to get to and talk about? Anything happening in the eInk ecosystem or habitat, ecosphere? I don't even know if that's a thing. Oh, New Kids on the Block. Oh my God, Jay. Jesus Christ, man. I can't believe you even typed those words. Never do that again. Morning Coach has one. eInk whiteboard? Wait, Morning Coach has an eInk. Come on, stop playing. Stop playing. He has an eInk whiteboard? I might have to hit him up and be like, listen, where'd you get that whiteboard from, bro? I need it. I mean, I could just fill my whiteboard with eInk devices and make it one, maybe take a bunch of Note Maxes and put them up there. The ghosting will be so overwhelming, it might kill me, but yeah, it's the price you pay for science. Quilla was made by Quirk Logic. Okay, let's look at that. I know I didn't spell that right. Oh, it's done for.
It is a sad day today, guys. I'm here to report some news on Quirk Logic and the paper device. and of course Aquila that I have upstairs, this company is not going to make it. So let's get into this. As you know, I've been doing eInk now, reviews and stuff for a few years. Off and on, I get in these really marathons where I'm just cranking stuff out, and we're having a lot of fun with it. And I appreciate your subscribes and your likes and all that we do here on YouTube. It makes a difference for all of us. But the paper was a device I really liked.
Yeah.
It was a thin device.
Listen, I like the fact that they spelled paper that way. It makes me think of papaya. I don't know why, but I like that. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I'm interested now.
The company was amazing, just really responsive, watched our videos, really engaged with our community, and really tried to make this device the best that they possibly could. And I think they did a good job. The collaboration features with the Aquila and the paper and the way you could work.
There it is. It's not very big. Dang, and you need a pole? You need a pole for it?
Work around the world was really something stellar. But with that being said, it was an older technology. This was a Sony DPT. It still works well.
What is Sony DPT? Sony makes eInk displays? Come on, chill out. Listen, are we talking about, is this actually ink right here, people?
Just older, right? The scratchiness, they worked on the lag time. I remember when they first came out, how slow it was. The engineers just did such a super job with this product of getting as much as they could out of it. And many of us were waiting for the Paper 2, which would have been a very competitive device in the market with the latest Sony technology. So you might.
What Sony technology? All right. Listen. Can we not do this? Can we not? Just this. That's not ink. That's not ink. I don't. I'm good. I'm good. Sony makes e-ink displays? Do tell, chat. Fill me in. What am I missing? Ed, what's going on? Oh, so Sony makes electronic paper displays and has a joint venture with eInk Holdings to develop them. Sony has used eInk technology in a variety of products, including e-readers, fitness bands, and digital paper. Is this the Quaderno right here that I'm looking at? No, it's not. That's incredible. Okay, I learned something new today. That is interesting. Thanks, Ed. I thought the eInk Corporation was the only company who makes eInk, and I guess they are, but they're licensing the use of the technology to Sony? Is that how it's working? Super interesting. I'm going to do some research on this. It's from 2017, by the way. It says electrophilic display. Electrophoretic? Electrophoretic display? Okay. Whatever that means. We're gonna have to do some deep dives into that. I'm about to educate myself because I don't know about that, you guys. I had no clue that Sony was licensed to make eInk displays. I thought eInk had like a lock on that and what nobody getting licensed technology. But okay, all right. I guess this wouldn't be any different. Okay, you know what? I guess this wouldn't be any different than them giving displays to Onyx and then Onyx, or giving a display or selling displays to Remarkable and letting Remarkable rebrand the display because they've done some work on it. Like their like how they call their displays the canvas, right? They don't call it the eInk display, they call it the canvas, but it is an eInk display that they've rebranded. And I think, is that what's happening here too? Sony's allowed to rebrand technology because they're tweaking it in some kind of way. All right. I'm going to have to do my research on that. I'm definitely going to have to do some research on that. That's going to be interesting and fun. That's going to be interesting and fun. All right, everyone. That's going to be it for the show today. Yeah, I had no idea Sony and eInk. Okay, there we go. Good to go. Good stuff. I'm glad you guys joined me today. I appreciate that. A lot of just tech today. I didn't have a lot of eInk stuff to say today. I didn't get my spectro photometer in the mail yesterday like I was supposed to, because I was going to come on and talk about that today. But that should be in the mail this weekend. So Monday I will have some information on that and maybe some testing. And maybe I'll do a quick video on the roughness tester as well. Just to be doing something creative. I've been in a creative mood lately. There's also OED, which is different company, former eInk engineer who have been making electrophoric displays as patents expire. Oh, okay, good. Well, that's good stuff. That's good information to know. That was very good information to know. All right, everyone. I'm going to end the show here, but thank you for joining me today. Thank you to all the members. Thanks for all the people in the chat. Thanks for all the people viewing. If you're viewing this in the replay, thank you for viewing the replay. Leave any questions and comments you have down in the comments below, and I'll definitely get to those in a timely manner. And until next week, you guys, I will definitely see you Monday. And like I said, I'm going to go down to 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. So just to do a more meaningful show, I guess, and give me more time to work on videos because I've been slacking on that. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're having a great start to your week. I hope you have a great rest of your week. And until Wednesday, take care, and I'll see you then. Peace. I hope this worked. It worked.